Most people shopping for a condo or strata unit in Prince George focus on the obvious stuff: square footage, the finishes, the view, and the monthly fee. But there is a set of documents sitting behind every single strata deal that will tell you whether you're buying into a well-run, financially healthy building or a ticking time bomb with a massive special levy waiting for you on the other side of your possession date. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly what those documents are, what to look for inside of them, and how to use them to protect yourself before you ever put an offer in. If you're thinking about moving to Prince George, relocating to Prince George, or you're already here and you're a first-time buyer or an investor looking at strata properties, this is important, so don't skip it. Let's get into it. The first document you want to get your hands on before anything else is a Form B, the Information Certificate. Think of it as the financial and administration snapshot of the Strata Corp. It doesn't tell you everything, but it tells you most critical things. What you see on a showing, the floor, the kitchen, and the view, that's the surface level stuff. What's sitting in the documents is the structural level: an aging roof membrane, plumbing past its lifespan, a reserve fund running on empty. None of that shows up on a showing, it only shows up when you read the paperwork. Here is what a Form B actually includes. It shows you current monthly strata fees for your specific unit, not an estimate, the exact number. It shows you whether there is any money currently owed to the Strata Corp by the seller. That matters because if they owe money, that becomes your problem at possession. It tells you the balance sitting in the Contingency Reserve Fund, the CRF. That's the building savings account, and it is one of the most important numbers on this whole document. A low CRF with an aging building is a red flag, which I'll come back to in a minute. Form B also shows you any bylaw amendments. It includes any judgments or legal orders registered against the Strata Corp as a whole. It confirms your allocated storage locker and your parking stall as well. Here's one that was added to Form B in April 2023 that most buyers don't think to look at. A summary of the Strata Corp's insurance coverage is now required to be attached. This matters more than people realize. It tells you what the building is insured for and what the deductible is. In many BC stratas right now, insurance deductibles have climbed dramatically. Some buildings are carrying deductibles of $50,000 to $100,000 on water damage claims. If a pipe bursts in your unit or the unit above you, understanding who is on the hook for what starts right here in this document. That $100,000 deductible doesn't stay with the building, it transfers directly to the individual owners. Read this page before you make an offer. Now here's what Form B does not include, and this trips people up. If the building has legal sections like commercial section, residential section, the individual sections' separate accounts and bylaws aren't automatically part of the main corporation's Form B. That's blind spot 1. And there's no scheduled certificate of title in there either. That comes from a separate title search. That's blind spot 2. One more thing that is critical though, under Section 59 of the Strata Property Act, the Strata Corp is required to provide Form B within 7 days of written request by an authorized person. Your agent should be pulling this the moment you get serious about the unit. Form F is shorter and more targeted, but just as important. All Form F does is answer one question: does the strata lot you are buying owe any money to the Strata Corp right now? That's it. But that one question can save you from inheriting someone else's unpaid fees, unpaid special levies, or outstanding balances. Here's something that a lot of first-time homebuyers and Prince George don't realize. If the seller has unpaid strata fees or outstanding levies, that debt does not simply disappear at possession. It can follow the property. Unpaid fees attach to the lot, not the person. Form F is your shield against walking into someone else's financial mess. Always make sure Form F comes with every strata offer, no exceptions. Now this is the one I want you to pay the closest attention to. The Depreciation Report, or DR, is a mandated document under BC Strata Property Act. Strata corporations with 5 or more lots are required to obtain one from a qualified professional and update it every 5 years. And as of recent legislative changes, the old ability to vote to waive or defer the report has been removed. It's mandatory. If your strata does not have a report or has one dated prior to December 31st, 2020, your Strata Corporation has until July 1st, 2027 to obtain a new report. This staggered 2027 deadline applies to all of BC outside of Metro Vancouver, Fraser Valley, and the Capital Regional District. But what does it actually do? It estimates the repair and replacement costs for every major item the building has: the roof, the elevator, the plumbing, the parquet membrane, the windows, along with the expected lifespan of each of those items. You can see exactly where each system sits on its timeline right now. It then compares those projected future costs against what's sitting in the contingency reserve fund, and that gap is exactly what you need to understand before you buy. Quick note for investors especially: if the strata lot has fewer than 5 lots, there's no legal requirement for a depreciation report. That is a completely different risk profile that you need to factor into your analysis when running the numbers on a small strata investment. Here's a real world scenario. You find a strata unit in PG that's priced well. The monthly fees seem reasonable, but you pull the depreciation report and it tells you the roof needs replacement in 3 years at a projected cost of $400,000, and the CRF only has $80,000 in it. That's $320,000 gap has to be filled somehow, and the way it gets filled is through a special levy, a sudden mandatory charge applied to every owner based on their unit entitlement. You could walk into a significant assessment on the other side of possession with no warning if you didn't read the report. That is not hypothetical, that happens, and it's entirely avoidable if you just read the report before you buy. The next one is newer, and most buyers, and honestly a lot of agents, don't know it exists yet. If a strata corp has 5 or more strata lots, they are required to obtain an electrical planning report prepared by a qualified professional, typically an electrical engineer. The EPR does 2 things. It assesses the building's current electrical capacity, and it evaluates whether that capacity can meet future demands, specifically EV charging stations and heat pump installs. Now, here's where it gets more nuanced, and this matters depending on whether you're looking at an existing building or a brand new one. For strata corps whose plans were deposited before December 31st, 2023, the province has set hard deadlines. If you're buying in Metro Vancouver, Fraser Valley, or Capital Regional District, the EPR deadline for those buildings is December 31st, 2026. For the rest of BC, including right here in Prince George, the deadline is December 31st, 2028. For brand new stratas, plans deposited after December 31st, 2023, those corporations have 5 years from the deposit of their strata plan to get the EPR completed. So why does this matter to you as a buyer in Prince George right now? Because we are inside that 2028 window. A lot of strata buildings here have not had their EPR completed yet. That's fine, they have time. But when you're doing your diligence, it's worth asking, has this strata already obtained their report? If they have, what did it say? If they haven't, what's the plan? If you're relocating to Prince George from a larger market, EV ownership and heat pump adoption are both growing fast. You want to know whether this building's electrical infrastructure can actually support those things, or whether getting there is going to cost the strata a significant amount to upgrade, which flows back to the owners. The EPR is a planning tool. It doesn't guarantee EV charging is available. It tells you what the plan to getting there actually looks like. So let me give you a simple framework for all 4 documents together. Form B answers, is this building financially healthy? Look at the CRF balance and the insurance deductibles. The risk you are avoiding is uninsured water damage you never saw coming. Form F answers, does this specific lot owe the strata money right now? Form F answers, does this specific lot owe the strata money right now? Look at any owed balances at closing. The risk you are avoiding is inheriting the seller's debts. And the depreciation report answers, what major repairs are coming and can the CRF actually cover them? Look at the gap between the projected repair costs and the CRF. The risk you are avoiding is a sudden special levy. And the electrical planning report answers, can this building's electrical system meet future demands? Look at the timeline for EV and heat pump upgrades. The risk you are avoiding is massive infrastructure costs flowing back to the owners. Here's the part most buyers miss though. These documents only tell the full story when you read them together. A healthy Form B means nothing without the context of a depreciation report. Our CRF balance of $150,000 might look solid on paper until you cross-reference it with the depreciation report showing an $800,000 parquet repair due in 18 months. That's not a healthy building. That's a critical gap waiting to land on every owner. Because here's the truth, a strata unit can look absolutely perfect on a showing. Brand new flooring, updated kitchen, great layout, but the documents will tell you what the building actually looks like financially, and that's the part that will affect your wallet for years. This is exactly the kind of thing that separates a buyer who feels empowered and educated from a buyer who ends up stressed and surprised 6 months after possession. The surprised buyer walks in without reading the documents. The empowered buyer did the document audit first. The records exist. The law protects your right to review them. You just have to know exactly what to ask for and know what to do with them once you have them. So a quick recap before we wrap up. When you're buying a strata in Prince George or anywhere in BC, these are the documents that protect you. Form B gives you a full financial picture of the strata corp, including the insurance summary. Form F confirms whether the seller owes anything to the building. The Depreciation Report tells you what major repairs are coming and whether the CRF can actually cover them. And the Electrical Planning Report tells you where the building stands on capacity for the future. None of these are complicated. They just take someone who knows what to look for. And navigating the Prince George real estate market doesn't have to be stressful. I have free seller's guides if you're planning to list, relocation guide for anyone moving to Prince George. And if you're looking to buy and want more tailored information, ask about my home buyers program. On top of a buyer's guide, I'll send you exclusive weekly videos and emails to walk you through the process step by step. Just comment the word guide below. Tell me which one fits your situation, and I'll send the link right over. And when you're ready to actually look at homes or list your property, the easiest way to connect is call, text, or email. All those details are in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.